Nokia 7 Plus, that is between 375 and 400 euros, depending on where you get it, is priced really well. And for those who do not wish to pay that high-end price or cannot, but still want a good camera for its price on their phone, I think the Nokia 7 Plus is one of the best options out there. So let's get into it and see how it actually performs. So first off, let's talk about its hardware and the one flaw that we do need to address, and that is the lack of optical image stabilization. Now most people imagine that optical image stabilization is for video, and that is very true. But it's not only for that, it's also for low light shots, because the shutter speed on the automatic mode will be longer, meaning if you move between that time, you will take that one single picture, you will have a chance of it showing in the picture that you moved. So in low light, optical image stabilization will help you out. In terms of video though, the Nokia 7 Plus does do a pretty good job. It's not the most stable out there, but the electrical image stabilization is doing a pretty fine job out there. However, it does mean that the image is cropped. Of course, in terms of video recording, you have the option of 4K, Full HD and slow motion. But it's when we get to stills where I think the Nokia 7 Plus really shines. So just a bit about this camera. On the back we have a dual camera system that both feature size optics, a combo many people came to love, and myself am glad to see as well. We are dealing with a 12 megapixel camera that has a 1.8 aperture, 25mm lens and a 1.4 UM. The second camera is a 13 megapixel sensor with a smaller f2.6 aperture and 1.0 UM, which allows you to have a 2x optical zoom. While there are no numbers about the millimeter of this lens, seeing how the main one is 25mm, I would imagine this one to be around 50mm. So the result we get out of this camera is really good, even that good that I often like the shots better on the Nokia 7 Plus than on my Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. I like the saturation better, I like the colors overall, and it has a more realistic tone to it. In general, the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus sometimes feels like a raw shot that would look better after working on it in Photoshop, meaning it looks very flat. Where on the Nokia 7 Plus, it gives you more character basically. And this is what I liked about it. Now of course we have a second camera as well that allows you to have a 2x optical zoom, but also capture the depth of an object or person. But honestly, I hardly use this for myself. Most of the shots that I take are normal shots, really trying to capture the natural depth of field instead of one that feels like an edited shot. But while in daylight I do like the shots better, it's in low light where we can see we are dealing with a mid-range phone. For one, we have more grain to the shots, and like stated before, the lack of optical image stabilization isn't helping either, because when you will have an object moving or you move in a low light shot, you will see it because of the slower shutter speed. Overall though, again, while you get more grain, the color science on the Nokia 7 Plus is spot on. Pictures look realistic, and unlike more phones that I tested, we don't have too many warm tones on it, which again is something you will get for instance with the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, which I honestly urge them to fix, because it doesn't look good in low light shots by any means. Now while it cannot really compete with a high-end phone when it comes to low light situations, it is one of the best you can get out there when it comes to the camera for this price. It outperforms the Asus Zenfone 5 and definitely outperforms the Huawei P20 Lite. Again, for this price you really can't go wrong with the Nokia 7 Plus. Overall though, the Nokia 7 Plus from all the phones I have used came really close to replacing the S9 Plus, but there were several reasons why I couldn't. One was the speakers, because on the 7 Plus we don't have this dual speaker setup. 2 is its screen, and 3 is its camera. Well, the features of the camera. With the S9 Plus you will get more stable shots, but also have more features like 960 frames per second. If the S9 Plus lacked those features, I could see myself switching to this phone. Honestly, Nokia, or well HMD, make a Nokia with high-end specs designed like the Nokia 7 Plus, meaning no glass back please. And give us that 6-layer coating feel, because I love that. If you do that, I will step over to the Nokia side. Either way, let me know in the comments below what you think of the Nokia 7 Plus camera, and of course if you haven't checked the review out, I will link it below. Have a good one and talk to you guys in the next.